Hello friends, James Stevenson back with another episode of Who's Hating Hard on Tesla Today? It's somebody you've probably never heard of before. Robert Ferris works for CNBC. CNBC is hating hard on Tesla today through Robert Ferris, who wrote an article brought to my attention. Well, I'll get to that in just a minute. Here's the Loki cam where you can see Loki is curled up in bed trying to get some sleep after he ate his breakfast this morning. If you wanted to see Loki eat breakfast this week, you can join my followers in subscribing to me through Patreon or on X and get access to all of my weekly James and Loki's Gems of the Week series. So this week's episode was about 90 minutes. I went through all the tweets that I liked of the past week and talked about why I liked them. And Loki ate his breakfast. If that's the content you're here for, that's how to find it. So I'll share my desktop with you and show you Derek Harris tagged me on this tweet saying, let's check the FUD chart from James. Yeah, checks out. I replied with a laughing emoji and a thumbs up. You'll see why in just a minute. First, I'll orient those of you to the TSLAQ Logic Flowchart who may not have seen it before. All of these items here, such as not producing enough cars, producing too many cars in parking lots, not enough cars in parking lots, right? These are different news articles you might read about. But if you're TSLAQ, what are you to make of these events when they occur? Well, lucky for you, I created this logic flowchart about 5 years ago that concludes, in all cases, that it's bad and that Tesla is doomed. So if there's, too many car carriers, not enough car carriers, if they're too full or if they're too empty, all of those are bad and mean Tesla is doomed. Same with hiring, layoffs, selling ZEV credits, not selling ZEV credits. The important one today is this one, raised prices and lowered prices. Whichever one of those Tesla is doing recently is bad and means Tesla is doomed, if you're TSLAQ. So with that context, we'll scroll up and see what Derek Harris was replying to. It's this post from Sydney EV at Sydney_EV. Before it was hashtag EVs are not affordable. Now suddenly they are too cheap. Why experts say falling EV prices could actually hinder widespread adoption. What are they talking about? Well, let's read the article together. It won't take long. We're going to do the twist, and it goes like this. So yeah, there's that headline again, and here's the photo they have here with used cars. Get an offer now. I'm not sure what that's applicable to at this Honda dealership. First paragraph of the article reads, prices of used electric vehicles are down roughly 30% year over year, according to market research studies using data from September and October. I don't know how many used Honda EVs are on the market, maybe not that many. The cheaper prices might bode well for buyers, but they raise concerns that low resale values could hurt EV adoption among mainstream consumers. The falling prices also add fuel to a debate over whether EV demand is faltering. Is EV demand faltering, and is it bad that resale values come down? Well, resale values do come down some over time. Like Tesla is a big part of the explanation here because, Teslas were selling at a premium a couple of years ago when there was a long backlog for Tesla orders. You couldn't buy one right away. So that was inflating artificially the resale value of Teslas. Some of them were selling for more than they sold for initially years earlier. That's kind of a weird market dynamic. So for it to be down from those shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. EVs are getting more affordable. What's wrong with that? You'll see later in the article that there's a lot of flip-flopping happening about whether higher prices or lower prices are bad. According to the TSLAQ Logic Flowchart, they're both bad. So far, we've seen that lower prices are bad. The mainstream appeal of these cars is still not there, says Carl Brauer, executive analyst for Icy Cars, a search engine for used cars. They're still too expensive. All right, so EVs cost too much. The prices are too high. We flip-flopped once already. They're still too expensive, and they've got too many limitations in terms of how you use them. All right, so somebody's hating hard on EVs. Still, EVs are making up a larger share of total new car sales, more than 8% through October of this year, according to J.D. Power. And some say fears of a slowdown are overblown. People are broke, interest rates are high, said Scott Case, CEO of Recurrent, which provides vehicle history reports that focus on battery life. The demand for EVs is not the issue, it's the affordability. So here's somebody in Elon Musk's camp saying, hey, economy's in bad shape, interest rates are high, monthly payments go up if nothing happens to the starting price of the vehicle, so you have to lower the price of the vehicle to make it affordable enough that people can make their monthly payments and continue buying them in higher quantities, right? And that strategy has been working for Tesla to sell more vehicles, if that's the goal. Several studies indicate what many EV supporters insist: the vehicles are cheaper to own than gasoline-burning cars. All right, so we're back to cheaper again. Owners don't have to shell out for gas, and maintenance costs tend to be lower because EVs have fewer moving parts. All right, so there's a lot of advantages to buying an EV here, so it's good to buy EVs, right? But a car's residual or resale value is a big factor in determining the total cost of owning it. Edmunds, which provides a range of automotive data services, said in its Q3 2023 used vehicle report that the low resale values for used EVs could become a major deterrent to new EV purchases and EV adoption more broadly. Watch the video to learn more. Well, we're not going to watch the video, but we are going to bring up my chart just to familiarize you with, are these fears well-founded that people are going to stop buying EVs, or they won't buy more than they bought the year before? Well, I have prepared a bar chart for you of U.S. EV unit sales growth or decline so far this year, year-to-date Q3 2023, per Cox Automotive, versus the prior year, same time period. Tesla sales are up by a ton, more than 100,000. This is only 26% growth for Tesla year over year. Every competitor is up by a tiny fraction of the amount that Tesla is up by, right? The second place EV brand, Chevrolet, is up less than 30,000. That's a huge percentage growth increase for them, though. It's about 100% increase. I forget exactly how much. I can find out instantly, though. Let's see. I got my data table here. I just zoom in here a little bit. So here's Chevrolet year-to-date. Yeah. Year-to-date Q3 2023. They're up by 27,000 vehicles. That's a large increase over the prior year, 22. Yeah, so more than 100% growth in volume, unit volume for them. Here's what it looks like on a tree map. But back to this bar chart we were on again. Yeah, Rivian trailing them, Mercedes, BMW, Hyundai. All of these are up by big percentages because their prior year number was so small. I've got other charts here that show that. So here's how the entire US EV market looked from 2022 to 2023. Here's that 100,000 unit increase for Tesla. More than 100,000. No competitor grew by anything close to that, but because there were so many of them selling so few vehicles last year, it was easy for them to take market share percentage away from Tesla. I made a bunch of videos about that. You can go check out if you want. But there you go. That's who is hitting hard on Tesla today. It is CNBC. Why experts say falling EV prices could actually hinder widespread adoption. People won't want to buy the more affordable vehicles that are easier to maintain and perform better, right? Why would they? Except that they are. The growth is big, and it's not slowing down. And that's my video for today. So with that, I'll check in with Loki as I usually do. He has not stirred from his spot. And I'll say if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to click the like button. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon or on X. And a special shout out to my executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com, and I'll see you in the next one.